Hey guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here and welcome to the Cristiano Ronaldo career mode. Yes, this year in FIFA 20, you can take a real life player in career mode. Any player, whether they be real or fictitious, maybe a created player in player career mode, retire that player and then make them a manager in the game. And I decided, why not try and test this out? Not just this whole taking a player, retiring them and, you know, playing as them as a manager or turning them into a manager. Why not just use this as a bit of an excuse to have an even deeper look at career mode this year? And I am going to be using Cristiano Ronaldo. I figured he's a pretty good pick considering he's a pretty high profile player who I don't exactly see him going into management when he retires. I really personally don't. When you're as loaded to the gills as he is, there's really no need, but I feel like maybe he might potentially look on and do it. And I feel like he's the sort of type of player that is, you know, the more of a leader that would try to go in and do some stuff, like that would try to go in and be a manager. So who knows? He may do it, he may not. But regardless, we have retired Cristiano Ronaldo immediately. He's 34 years of age. I mean, it's going to happen sooner rather than later. There are a bunch of teams that we could go to. Teams in Italy, where, of course, we retired him with Piemonte Calcio. We have teams, of course, not just in the Serie A, but in the second division as well. Teams in England, teams in Spain, hell, teams in Germany as well. But I think the team I'm going to pick, because there aren't any major super enticing ones there. There are a couple, but since I'm a Newcastle fan, and I typically do a Newcastle career mode once every year, and I haven't actually done one in FIFA 19, I figured I owe some of you guys a Newcastle career mode. So why not pick my team, Newcastle United? Again, I should let you all know that this recording was done on a build of FIFA 20 that is not absolutely 100% complete, and it's not going to be the final product. So there are a few things that you may notice, like there are a few things that you may notice that'll be updated in the full release of the game later on. Things like certain players' overalls and ratings maybe not being as high as they should be. But this was the starting 11 that I was given by default for Newcastle. You'll notice a couple of off ratings as well that'll get fixed up, but this is the team that I decided to put together with, you know, what I have. I've gone with Muto up top. Obviously, for example, Jolinton, I would have loved to have had him up top, but he is, for whatever reason, not updated with his overall. So there's no way he's only going to be a 69 overall at the start of the game. I'm hoping he'll be like high 70s. Hell, maybe even ticking over to an 80 or something. I don't know. But regardless, that is the starting 11. And of course, this year, the fact you can update players' clothing and stuff like that, I decided to do it with Ronaldo. And hey, how about that, mate? With the bloody white runners, black pants, and the pink jacket tucked in, the white shirt and the white tie. Mate, bloody fashion icon Cristiano Ronaldo here. This is a beautiful little look, and I can't wait to see him rocking that in the post-match and pre-match press conferences on the touchline and all that. That is a sharp outfit, if you don't mind me saying so. All right, Jamal Lascelles, the captain of Newcastle United, just welcoming Cristiano Ronaldo as the new manager, of course, and it'd be very interesting to see if that happened in real life. Regardless, Cristiano Ronaldo retiring, becoming a manager, let alone of any club, Newcastle, but still, he is here, he is in charge. We were just giving some training drills as well, so nothing new really to report there. That's all the same. A few new drills in training, but we got an offer here for Dwight Gale, one of the players that maybe is not going to get so much game time. So let's go ahead and try to sell him. Cristiano Ronaldo, let's see if he is the smooth operator and is able to maybe connoisseur a little deal here with Frankfurt, I believe, was the club that we were selling. In one of the new sets as well, the one of the new places that you can negotiate the skyline or high-rise building that you're negotiating in. They're wanting a certain amount for him or only willing to pay a certain amount. I'm going to try to get 11. They do eventually come back and offer 9.3 million and a sell-on clause. I then decide to make that 10 million. Then they say again only 9.3, and I decided one final offer. Hopefully they'll take it, and I decided to bump it up to, I think it was 9.5. So literally 200,000 more and a 1% increase to the sell-on clause just to round it up. Surely that's going to be okay, and apparently not. Fortuna Dusseldorf are absolute tightwads, and that was that. Cristiano Ronaldo, not the master of deals, unfortunately, that we were hoping he would be. So struggling on that end of his managerial career, but hopefully he can maybe make up for it. We are going to still try to sign another high-rated striker, since Muto was the best that we have, 76 rated. We could definitely do better since for whatever reason Jolinton was not updated with his overall properly. So we're going to go in for someone who does have a much better overall, Wilfred Zaha. Now he's going to be a little bit of a pricier option for us because look at the budget. We offered 32 million for him, and you know, now they're coming back and saying they want 48 million, and that's negative 2 million with our budget. So even if we offer the 45, 46 million that we have left, we're going to have no money to pay for wages. So I try to bring it down to about 40 million and a very, very strange impact, like very just bizarre number with a 10% selling clause, trying to do anything I can to get this over the line, and hopefully Roy Hodgson's going to budge. That $40 million, that's pretty much, that's the Arsenal offer right there, isn't it? But they wouldn't be willing to sell him for that. Decided to increase it to 42. So that only leaves us with a little over 80 grand worth of wage to sign him. But thankfully, Roy Hodgson actually went for it. So we've only got about 80 to 85 grand to give him worth of a wage. And I'm not sure if he's going to end up going for it or not. But regardless, we'll see if he manages it. As again, we go to yet another new setting. The restaurant setting where you're basically sitting down with the player, sitting down with the agent and debating. You see his current wage is 92 grand. And look, in previous years, players have taken pay cuts to join other teams. And I'm hoping, even though that isn't super realistic, I'm hoping that is the case here. We're going to give him that 86,956 a week. And hopefully he goes for it, because if he doesn't, we are going to be absolutely out of luck. But will he go for it? Will he not? Will he take the pay cut? He has taken the pay cut, and we spent absolutely everything that we have in the budget to sign Wilfred Zaha, which means we've got a pretty decent looking side here with that 4-3-3 formation. And again, I'd like to have seen players like Sean Longstaff, for example, in there instead of Ki Sung-yong, and Jolinton actually at an 80 or something overall, so he could be up top. But instead, it's going to be Wilfred Zaha that's there, and that is looking quite tidy. I'll take that as a pretty decent little starting 11 to go on with. But I tell you what, how about this for the first game of the Premier League season that we're going to play? The fixtures and everything don't properly reflect that of the real-life Premier League fixtures either. But our first game was Crystal Palace away. So Wilfred Zaha is going to have one hell of a game to get his life to Newcastle started, going up against his old team right here in the Premier League. So here we go then, everybody. It is not just Wilfred Zaha's debut for Newcastle United. It is also going to be Cristiano Ronaldo's managerial debut. Are we going to be able to kick off his competitive managerial campaign and career with a win? We will see as we're underway at Selhurst Park. Just going to go with a little bit of post-commentary for this one and not the live commentary as I usually do. Just let me know if you're a fan of it or not. But regardless, Miguel Almiron going down the left-hand side. Alan St-Maximin is trying to slip in Zaha, who has a shot. To be honest, I was actually trying to tackle because I didn't think the ball would run across the defender. But in the end, the shot was a pretty pathetic one. It wasn't really what I was intending at the time. But we were playing some actually all right possession-based play. You know, you've really got to slow down with your passing and really try to work and maneuver and fashion a chance for yourself quite much. It's a little harder this year, but it's worth it when you're able to come or work something out. There's little gaps opening up in that back four we couldn't quite manage. And Crystal Palace, even though they were passing the ball around quite quickly, they were still managing to retain the ball relatively comfortably, as a cross in wasn't really super threatening. And to be honest, Crystal Palace, even though they had their share of the ball in this half, weren't really doing much with it. And I tell you what, Alan St-Maximin was getting so much space down this left-hand side for the majority of it. I don't know if it's Van Arnold, not on that side, but he went in for a low cross into Wilfred Zaha, who at the moment we cannot get that goal against his old side. But again, St-Maximin with all the space, looking to cut it back in absolute acres, and St-Maximin puts it a mile ahead of the man he was trying to cut it back to. I could not believe that. It seems so easy. Just pass it straight to him, but we did get a corner. We do have a chance. It is Fabian Schär, and Fabian Schär scores on the 42nd or 43rd minute of the game, right before halftime, and Newcastle United are going to take a lead going into the halftime break, and Cristiano Ronaldo would be over the moon with that beautiful little delivery. Schär had to go up and battle with, two Palace players but it's gone right through the gap between the defender at the near post and the goalkeeper. Ronaldo's absolutely gassed, and Fabian Schär, the leading goal scorer for Newcastle United last season, a bloody centre-back with 4 goals in the Premier League, is gone off and got himself yet another one again. So, brilliant to see. So far, Zaha was definitely in and amongst it and getting the ball in dangerous areas, but only the one real shot, and only so far not yet to hit the back of the net. I would love to get him a goal. I would absolutely love to get him a goal against his old side. But again, St. Maximin, we're getting him sent through so much. Tried to shift it to his right foot to finesse it in that bottom corner, but in the end, it is absolutely pathetic and woeful, and straight to the goalkeeper. And now in a bit of a counter-attack for Crystal Palace. I've got one defender defending 2 players here. It was a disaster. I decided to commit to the play that eventually sent through Daly, and he has scored the number 32, leveling it up at for Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, and it's not turning into the dream debut for Cristiano Ronaldo. We have got 15 minutes to try to now find a winner, and time will be very quickly running down, as you can see. We attempted something before which didn't really work out, a goal kick for Crystal Palace, and now DeAndre Yedlin on it with a little over 10 minutes left to go. Nice little ball over the top once again. What a clearance that was, although it's only going to fall for Zaha. He might not get a goal today, but he could get an assist, and it's Miguel Almiron who finally scores his first goal in a Newcastle shirt, and he's got us back the lead. Cristiano Ronaldo's potential win on debut is still on here. Alan St. Maximin looking crazy with that haircut. Oh my goodness, but what a strike. Finally it's happened, and it's worth the wait because it's surely going to go on to win us this game. Roy Hodgson's fuming. The rest of the Newcastle squad on the bench are loving it. I am going to make some changes now. Longstaff is going to get a bit of a run in the game, and hopefully they update his player face. I'm sure that they will. And with only about a minute or so left to go, all we have to do is hold on to this one. Jordan Ayew down that right-hand side just plays it back, and they are going to be charging forward here. 3 minutes of stoppage time. They're playing it back. If I can just hold them at bay, keep them away from my box, then I'll definitely take that as a decent result, although they're starting to make their move. Holding the ball up here. Somehow Daly's gotten the ball in past my defender, and in the end crosses it into absolutely no one. We clear it with ease, although Palace are going to get the ball back, but the time has run out for them, and Cristiano Ronaldo gets himself a win on debut. His first game in charge of Newcastle is going to be a W. 3 points, it is done, and how about that? Life to managerial career for Cristiano Ronaldo going perfectly. Zaha in the end not getting a goal against his former team, but he does pick up an assist.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
And of course, this year, we do have pre- and post-match press conferences. How happy are you with the first win under your belt as Newcastle manager? Several options, of course, to choose from. There's more yet to come, still more to do, and all that sort of stuff. I decided to go with what I thought was a bit more of a Cristiano Ronaldo-esque sort of response, a bit more of a cockier one, but it's very, very hard to pick the wrong answer here and not pick an answer that's going to, increase your team's morale. And we're all getting asked questions that are specific to increasing team morale. And at the moment, I'm just picking answers that are so easy. I mean, I'm almost certain at times there are some questions that you get asked where you're presented with 3 different choices for an option to answer, and I swear that none of them will have a negative effect on morale. It's crazy. But was the win ever in doubt? I trusted we'd give it our all. Yes, I had doubts. We were the stronger side. Had doubts, so I decided to go with the other one. Regardless of the outcome, I always trust my players to give it their all and fight to the end, and they did exactly that. So, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Cristiano Ronaldo has got off to a win with his managerial career, although we have a whole season and a few more episodes left to go. So, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you are new episode of the Cristiano Ronaldo career mode is coming out very soon. But until then, my name is the MasterBucks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.